Hi, I'm Tammara Behl, and I'm MasterChef Canada's finalist. So as you know, I'm a bit of a samosa queen, let's say. So what we're gonna do today is start off with a basic samosa dough recipe. So to make the basic samosa dough, and we're gonna make a traditional one, we're gonna add 2 cups of flour, and to our flour, we're gonna add half a teaspoon of the carom seeds. And again, you're gonna wanna make sure it's quite exact. The carom seeds are quite strong and they go a long way. To that, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. And to this, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of our oil. And I'm using olive oil, but you don't have to. You can use any basic oil that you have at home. And you know, if you go a little bit over, that's okay. I kind of actually give it a little extra oomph there. And what the oil does, it makes the dough really crispy and really, really full of flavor. We are gonna deep fry them, and that's what's gonna give the crispness all the way through the dough. So to our flour mixture here, we're just gonna add really, really hot water. And honestly, just want to put enough water so that the flour gets incorporated together. So for the Albertans out there, if you've ever made pierogies before, it's more like a pierogi dough. So we're almost there, the dough is coming together nicely. And you kind of know when it's ready, when all the flour is picked up off the bottom of the bowl here, and it kind of comes together in a nice ball. So here's our dough for the samosas. Everything's come together. We're just gonna let it rest for a good 20 to 30 minutes, just so the gluten can really get incorporated, and everything will be ready for us. Now that our dough's rested, I've cut a piece off because it's easier to work with, and that way it doesn't dry out when I'm working with the dough. So I've just left the other stuff wrapped up in saran wrap, and I'm just gonna use a smaller portion just because it's easier to work with. To be able to determine what size samosas you want, it's all about the size of dough that you pull off. So I usually try to go with about a 2-inch kind of golf ball size piece. You just wanna manipulate it so that way you have a nice flat surface to work on. And the end result you want to get is a bit of an oval shape. And the reason that the dough doesn't stick to the counter and you don't have to use excess flour is because of the oil that we put in the dough. And so you just want a nice clean surface to work on and just move it back and forth. You know, as you can see here, it's somewhat of an oval shape. Again, you know, if you want to be precise and the queen is coming over for dinner, that's totally up to you. But, you know, this is just for me and my family today. So we're gonna use a knife, and we're just gonna cut it in half. So we have a flat part on the top, and we also have a circular place on the bottom. I'm just feeling with my hands here, and it's a little bit uneven, so I'm just gonna kind of roll it out a bit to have it a little bit smoother. So today for our filling, we're gonna do something a little bit more traditional, and we're gonna go with the potato, pea, cashew vegan filling. And I like to use really robust flavors with ginger and garlic and cumin seeds and fresh chilies. And you know, you can use whatever you'd like today. Like I said, we're going traditional, but if you want to fill it with ground pork or ground beef, even lamb is delicious. And all depending on what kind of sauces you're going to serve it with, a traditional chutney and sweet and spicy really go well together. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna fold over our samosa dough. And for those of you, again, who've made pierogies or played with Play-Doh, this is a really great opportunity to show your skills here. And all we're gonna do is make a cone. So we're gonna overlap our dough, so that way when we're deep frying, nothing's gonna come out of the mixtures, and kind of fold it over like that. And you can use a scoop or a spoon here, and you just wanna fill them as best you can. And you do wanna fill them so that way there's no real big air pockets and stuff like that. But at the same time, you want to be conscientious of your fold here. So when you have enough, you just kind of pinch the sides together. You do want a little bit of extra dough at the end because you do want that little bit of extra crunch. And once it's deep fried and has the chutney on it, it is really delicious. So here's our first samosa. I'm just feeling here for our second piece of dough, and it's quite, again, uneven. So I'm just gonna give it a little roll out there. And again, samosas are rustic. This is your own creation, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So again, I'm just folding over my dough, crimping the edges, pressing them down so they don't open in the fryer. And I don't have a deep fryer at home because I would get really fat and deep fry chicken wings every day. I just use a pot of oil that I have back here. I'm setting the oil right around 325 to 350. So I'm almost on this one. I'm gonna roll out a couple more of these, and then we'll pop them in the fryer. So we've rolled out our samosas, we formed them, we filled them, and now our oil's at around 350 and we're just gonna pump them in. So usually I like to put 3 to 5 in the pot, depending on how big your pot is. And what you wanna do is you don't want to fill your oil too full to the top of your pot, because what happens here is you can see that the oil is bubbling and it's going to bubble over. So that's why you only want to put a certain amount in, and you just want to be safe. You always want to make sure that everything is taken care of. We're going to pull our samosas out. Soon as they come out of that fryer, we're going to season them. They smell delicious. And if you're doing large batches, you can go right away and just pop more right in. So I have a couple more left for our oil. I'm gonna put them right in. And again, you wanna watch your oil temperature. If it gets too hot, what's gonna happen is that the outside of the samosa is gonna cook and the dough inside is gonna be rubbery and gooey, and no one wants that, especially for a MasterChef. Okay, so the samosas are out of the oil. They're nice golden brown. They've been seasoned and they've cooled a little bit so I can touch them. I'm gonna show you a little bit of an elevated plating, MasterChef style, or you can just eat 3 or 4 at a time sitting at your counter with some sauce like I do. So here we go. What this is some green mango chutney that I've made from scratch. If you don't have time, or just want to impress your friends and not do the work, open a jar of chutney that you can get at your local grocer, put it in a nice squeeze bottle, and they'll never know the difference. First things first, we're gonna find the center of a plate. Done. Okay, got it. And we're just gonna move back about an inch or so. I'm gonna keep my finger there because I'm not that smart. So here we go. I'm gonna kind of look for the 2 biggest samosas here to represent our awesome creations that we've come up with today. So first of all, I'm just gonna slice one in half. And just to show the inside and things like that, you're gonna place the one right here with your third hand, or if you're a female, you got it covered. So, because we can multitask, right, ladies? So just you're gonna place them there so your audience can see the beautiful inside of your delicious samosas that you've worked all day and all night for. We're gonna just sprinkle some beautiful cilantro to give it some color across your plate, across your samosas there. Right now, I'm just gonna use the squeeze bottle, and I'm gonna make 3 even size circles, and our samosas are done. I think they're MasterChef quality. I think they are delicious and fantastic, and I think your friends and family are gonna be impressed.